Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is city creation. In city creation, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is future creation. And future creation, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is SBI Bank, India account, and India account. Basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is India account. In India account, SBI account, Amazon account, and after 2 days, basically, the earthquake is there. In this, basically, we are discussing one topic that is which project is ongoing in Mumbai, which lava process is activated for this above project, and which lava creation basically is going to be for the future creation of all the projects. Today, basically, Mumbai is having which lava data, processing which lava data, and how basically Sunil Arnar basically tracked that his future generation basically has ended by Mumbai city. So that actually topic basically we are discussing. In this basically, in last video basically we discussed that basically that how basically one software company, that is the software company, can track that basically that they basically created. For example, they just last few months basically they created and sign off the mail, and the client started executing that project, and they basically done the project, and most of basically everything is basically done. After that, they have taken the sign off mail from government and told government that basically our project is over from our side, and rest of process basically whatever you want to do you can do. And after that basically the lava land basically converted into water after certain time basically, and that time basically decided how, that basically depends upon the requirement of the water. So one person told that how basically the water requirement basically are captured, how basically the government knows that basically here basically the water is required, and that also that water basically which basically the TCS company has finished the project, that is the 100 projects. That project completed from that lava data, and that lava data basically has to be converted into water. Reason that that has to convert, otherwise basically the next lava process is not going to come. In this basically this connects to like this. The project basically the, for example, one person basically started the career in the software industry. After a certain year basically he have to give out, he basically have to leave from coding side basically, because rest of people basically are also there basically who are into the queue basically, so that basically they have to leave the software industry, sorry, they have to leave the coding side, and then basically they have to jump into the management side. They have to jump into the management side. So this connects to like the same way. The lava process is all done. After lava process, the next lava process has to be started. Otherwise, few lava process will stay in the lava only. Then basically it will create problem in water creation process. Same way basically the, after certain year basically the few the developer basically have to jump into the management side basically. Otherwise, it is connecting to this process basically. So that is also basically different topic basically. Up to what level basically the programming the software developer have to do the programming basically. So that is also one of the topic actually. So in this basically we are what discussing. We are discussing that how basically the certain level of projects basically are mapped into the lava data, which is lava data means tectonic plates or sand basically or land basically, because power company takes data from there only basically. They basically doesn't take data from some other side basically. Few power company takes data from water basically. How? One of the person told that sea water basically, for example, lava basically generated the process and everything basically, power supply and data basically has connected, and now basically that land basically can't produce the power basically. So what happens basically, it converts into the water, then basically that water merge into the sea water, and again basically that sea water do the certain level of process basically. What is that process basically, that we also don't know, because it's a huge process basically. And that exact, so another person in sea water basically, do you know basically where is the TCS project basically, that basically anybody can track basically, up to that level the technology has reached basically. Lots of people say that UAE is that country basically, they basically are into this process basically. Lots of project basically which the UAE groups are basically doing, they basically are trying to find out basically where is the Tata Group's projects basically. Here basically I have taken the example of Tata basically. It can be Infosys, it can be Capgemini, because in India basically Tata Group is number one. That's why basically I'm taking the project of TCS Group basically. So TCS Group basically project has converted into water. That water has dumped into the sea water, sorry, into the land. Then after certain time, basically it goes to the sea water. Then there basically do the certain level of process basically happens, and that same exact data basically it comes to certain level of land area basically. So you can just imagine the map basically. So this type of technology basically world has reached basically, that exactly where the water basically has to be dumped. For example, TCS told that basically we have generated few water basically for Bangalore group basically, because in Bangalore IT people are basically staying basically. So for that basically we have generated this 100 project, and that basically contains this many liter of water basically. So that water basically has to be dumped in that particular area. Like this, they told that basically we have the whatever basically the borewell basically has washed out due to some reason basically, technique, whatever reason basically it might be, that borewell water basically we need, that borewell area basically that we need to fill again basically. For that basically we have the area basically where the water has to be dumped, and from sea water area the water has to be dumped into that particular area. So for that purpose basically we have created this project, and we have spent lots of money only also basically. So we want that exact water basically which is connected to our project, which has dumped by government into the sea water. So we want that water only. So is it possible? So government told that for that only we are basically government na basically. The thing basically you can't do, that government basically can do. So for that's why basically we are government basically. So like this, basically the government told that word, and all government people basically told that basically we will give you your water basically, whatever water you have basically dumped, whatever water basically which was taken out from that lava land. Reason the power supply which was supposed to be taken as much basically, that is already taken. Now basically it has take. That means land basically, from land basically certain from land for certain time only basically the power data can be taken. After that basically it will not give the power. So this connects to mechanical basically, that is the ME basically, ME subject. And this everything basically is given in 10th standard book basically. When you read the 10th standard book science basically, there basically everything is given basically, that the process basically is like this basically. So in simple language basically, even basically the ME MTech subject basically are given in the 10th standard, ninth standard. The chartered accountant concept basically is given in 11th commerce, 12th commerce basically. If you understand the things basically deeply, you will get everything basically. Even basically the MBA basically is given in the 11th standard and 12th standard subject. This everything basically in video, my video basically, lots of basically thing basically you will get, which is connected with the MBA. Even basically the MBA groups basically might not be knowing that basically that data basically are coming from where. In that few video basically I have displayed that also basically, that exactly data basically is coming from where basically. So now basically the data is coming from lava. So the MBA group basically, who are into the lava management basically, that is the business management, sorry, the management business basically, that is MBA is master in business management. That group basically is in that sorry, in lava also basically the MBA groups are connected. So they basically know that this is the business, this is the investor, they have done the investment, and that basically the power company, energy company, and nuclear power company are going to use this data. So you can just imagine the power company, nuclear power company, and energy company, up to what level knowledge basically they might be having, that they have to take data of the power from that land area basically. So you can just imagine na, basically up to what level powerful they are basically, and everything is basically done basically. That's why I'm telling you, everything is done according to this only. That's why basically the world is ongoing na basically. Otherwise, world war will not start basically. If like this basically the things are not done basically, otherwise it will convert to world war basically. If the creation basically has not created like this, if everything basically is a satellite group will know that basically the creation basically is not done like this, then they only basically will finish the world basically. But mostly basically each activation deactivation is basically controlled by the satellite group only. So whatever things basically are activated, deactivated in earth planet, for example, TCS group basically have 100 projects. They told that government that basically we have this type of 100 project, this is our business requirement, according to that basically give the power to our project. So they basically told that this is a tectonic plate basically, and this is a writer of the lava basically. He You can basically connect to that particular writer basically, that he has written the lava data basically, and his you can connect to him basically, and he will you give your requirement basically. So TCS basically given his requirement to that lava writer basically. The lava writer told that basically according to your requirement basically, this is the lava land basically, that is the tectonic plates which you can use for your 100 projects basically, which is going to get the power supply from this land basically. And this data basically was given by the lava groups to the power company, energy company, and nuclear power company. And nuclear power company and this whole company basically is directly connected with the satellite group. They activated the data, and this activation basically was approved by the satellite group, and then basically the TCS group started the project. That's why the project management plan came into the picture na, basically. Otherwise the project will not go so for long time basically. Why the project basically timeline is given basically, there might be some reason na, basically, that this is the time, in within this time basically you have to finish the project. This is the main reason basically behind this. The power supply which the power company is giving, that is basically coming from certain areas, and for that basically certain level of time basically is allocated for this TCS 100 project basically. So to do one project basically, how much cost basically it is coming basically, just imagine basically. Lots of people says that the software companies are basically earning in crores rupees basically. E-clerks basically has crossed 100 crore mark. But see the expense basically, that all expense basically the government are taking as a rent basically. So see the expense also no, basically. How the power basically data are coming basically. You will not able to believe that basically, that power data are coming from that land area basically, which is created in the form of lava long before basically, which is dumped into that particular certain area in the land basically. So one of the person told that that is basically marked that this is project, for this project which is going to use. So that is basically the satellite group basically, they are marking basically. So they have just imagine basically up to what level the data science project they are doing basically. That is a satellite group basically. And this everything data basically, software company is not supposed to have from wherever basically they are getting their data. But they should know basically that how much hard work basically are done by the certain groups. On the base of that basically the power company are getting the, this basically Tata Power basically have the, Tata group basically they have the power, sorry, they have the power company, so they can understand basically from where they are getting the power, from land, from lava groups basically, from tectonic plates, because that's why basically they are the Tata group na, basically. The engineers basically who are basically the at the director post basically they 100% know na basically from which area their power supply is coming basically, from which land area basically, and which that land area basically is connect is has produced lava certain long time before basically, and which was written by this particular author, and which is allocated by certain level of governments who told that basically for your project basically we have allocated this data. So you can just imagine the power of government basically, power of government, just you imagine basically. So whatever things basically are connected, that is connected up to this level basically. So it's very dangerous basically to run one software company also. Lots of people says that TCS तो देखो 100 करोड़ कमा रहा है. This was in Hindi basically. In English is TCS is basically earning hundred crores basically. But see the risk factor, see the money factor basically, which is getting involved basically here. For specially for these 100 projects, this is the data basically, or this is the power data which is allocated for the TCS group basically. So one of the person told that, yeah, that's very dangerous thing. Yeah, basically just now you discussed basically. After that data basically it's already converted. That converts into the water basically, and that water basically are circulated are basically dumped in certain areas. Then basically it goes to sea area. Then the exact that water basically of the 100 project are basically that water basically are taken from the sea water, and that basically is dumped into the certain areas. So TCS told that basically that water basically we have created for the Bangalore city basically, where the borewell basically are basically not having the water. So please dump that water basically of the sea water to the borewell basically from the roadmap of land basically. That is the lava lands basically. Or you have some another way, then another way also you can use. Dump some lava and then generates some certain level of data. Then directly basically generates the water. But without sea merging with the sea water, the earth planet creator group basically never is going to merge the never basically going to merge the water to the land basically, which is basically getting used for the water for the drinking purpose. So one of the person told that the people basically who are into the apartments, thousand floor buildings, they basically takes that particular area only basically how that they want to create this 1,000 floor building in this area only. Who gives the approval? That is the red batti car people basically, who are basically into big level of post basically, who are sitting at the government basically. They are doing the sign and they are telling that basically in this side basically water is dumped for you basically. That's why basically we have signed and given the approval that basically you can have your 1,000 floor building in this place. We have signed that basically. That is the government authorized group basically has signed that basically. That means they know that basically this water basically has came from which area and which is processed from the sea water, and that after that basically it has dumped to the that particular land area basically. So one of the person told that, do you have the data basically from where this water has processed life cycle of the water basically, do you have basically? Then government told that basically yes basically we have that. Government basically is totally depend on TCS basically, and they asked the TCS, and TCS told that basically we have basically, but we have to collect it. That means data basically each and every data basically have with the software companies, but they have to collect it. Then that collection basically comes to one more new projects. So you can just imagine basically how the world has reached, how the big level task the government people basically are doing. So giving the authority to for the building, you will not believe it basically in Mumbai basically there is an area basically exactly don't know, Mahalakshmi area. There basically the 500 buildings, floor buildings basically are kept. For that basically government has given the approval that basically you can prepare 500 thousand floors building basically. For that basically water is allocated in that particular area. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the government is and up to what level the Mumbai groups are connected, because Mumbai is the heart of the India basically, and everything is basically created also like this way. If it has created wrong way, otherwise if it has created wrong way, then satellite group basically immediately basically they do the firing basically. That is the earthquakes. If they feel that basically something basically has wrongly created in Mumbai city, which is the heart of Mumbai, sorry, heart of India, then they immediately fires basically. So you can just imagine creation is basically done perfectly. Otherwise, the Mumbai basically might have got long before earthquake basically. So you can just imagine the creation process, basically. The creation process which is already done. So we will not able to believe that basically how the world is created, up to what level the things are created with. And this everything is created, everything is done with. And in India basically, the India was created by European country basically. This European country basically can easily able to understand what actually I want to say. If any European people basically by mistake basically they feel that basically somebody is there in India basically who can understand us. If they by chance basically search the video and if they click this video basically, this also comes to the data science project basically. That who is supposed to watch the video basically. This is actually new data science project basically. For example, I am deploying this. This actually is deployed in YouTube. So YouTube people basically should take this initiative basically. That is whatever things basically I am giving the presentation in the video. That is basically for which all groups basically. So allocate that videos to that all users basically. That this particular user is basically connecting to this all videos. So this is basically new big project basically for YouTube basically. And YouTube is basically property of Google, I think basically. So it's a big project basically. You will not able to believe that basically. And like this, you Google will earn money basically. Because if one video basically somebody is watching, that means there are 1 lakh user basically watching videos basically. So it's a huge income basically for the Google only basically. So you can just imagine basically, the income for Google basically. So you can just imagine basically how the creation basically has done. Here we generated few more projects basically. So TCS groups told that basically we want that water, because that hard work basically we have done for just for Bangalore city basically. Yeah. We have created that project, and we know everything process basically. That's why we have created that lava data also basically from the set of level of projects basically. According to that basically everything is done. So after that basically you have to dump that water basically to that particular land area. So just imagine basically the combination of everything basically. Combination of everything basically. So you can just imagine basically. There are many things basically which are created from water basically. And if I say that basically water is also like a chemical, then also it would be 100% correct basically. Because previously what happens basically, the combination basically was not able to match. For example, TCS created one project. They told that basically this is the project basically which is going to generate this all human needs. In this fruit is there, then the vegetables are there, then the oils are there, petrols are there. So this is one combination of that project. But water basically is not able to match here basically. So they told that basically we want to match that water also, so that basically it converts to perfect combination basically. So they told that basically we want that water in that Bangalore land area basically. So this basically government told that basically is a normal task for us basically, for government, and like this basically government told. So it's a easy task for government basically, but it's very dangerous task for the normal people, the people like TCS group basically. It's very tough task for them because they don't have the power basically. As the power government have, TCS group don't have basically. So you can just imagine. So they basically collected that water also. Like this basically the TCS group basically got the perfect combination of human needs. In that basically water was missing, that also they added. Here basically I'm talking about TCS basically, because there are many companies basically. Because Capgemini is also one of the company, Accenture is also one of the company, but they don't have the power company basically. Like Tata Power is there. Na? They are purchasing power from some other groups basically. So you can just imagine basically how the everything is already created. So from sea water basically, just imagine basically up to what level the sea water basically. Yeah. From that water basically you have to collect the TCS company's 100 projects data, which is processed from that lava. That lava has converted into water. That water has merged into the sea water. That sea water basically the TCS company is asking back basically from sea group basically, who are the expert in sea. So you can just imagine the process basically which is happening. The process which is happening, and which the process is basically already done also. So you can just imagine basically how the creation is already done. The creation basically everything is already done. So one of the person told that this is the perfect creation here basically. So software company basically have to think up to this level basically. They have to generate their water basically. This video actually I have uploaded long before basically. This thing basically just now I talked basically. This has uploaded long before basically. Long before. But here basically little bit connection of lava chain was missing. That also basically done here. So you can just imagine basically the creation process, basically, how the creation process has done basically. So power data basically is coming from where basically. You just imagine basically. And just imagine basically how the nuclear power company is allocating everything basically for the companies basically. So to run one company basically also is it's very dangerous basically. It's not so easy to run the one company also. So if you are running one software company, that's not so. For example, in Mumbai, basically there are many companies like Patni is there, Accenture is there, eClerx is there, Capgemini is there. So how they might be handling the company? You can just imagine, na, basically. Their data are also basically getting used. That also you imagine, basically. And they are getting power supply from where basically. That also you imagine. So in detail, basically, we are going to see the entire chain, basically how it's connected in next video.